Welcome to the Cheating Secrets channel. I sat at the large wooden desk in my home office with a grim sense of determination after reviewing my checklist for the 10th time and ensuring my plans were properly prepared. I leaned back in my chair, closed my eyes, and recalled the events of the past 2 weeks. Our first exchange of emails occurred 12 days ago, while I was on a business trip to Memphis. My message was sent to an alluring woman using the username Ashley. Ashley is a member of a popular globally recognized website for cheaters. That I was drawn to Ashley's profile. The headline of her profile read, "Sweet and married, looking to explore." I am a 48-year-old married woman. I have spent more than half my life as a loving wife and mother, dedicating myself to my family, friends, and community. Now, selfishly, I want to explore sex with other men besides my husband. I am incredibly reserved and will only meet with those who are willing to play by my rules. If you're interested, take a risk and introduce yourself with great interest. I wrote, "Hello, my name is Mike. I'm 39 years old, married, and intend to stay married, well educated, and have a professional career. I work as a senior project manager in the computer hardware industry, and I'm currently overseeing a project near your area. I travel to Hartford weekly and will maintain this schedule until the project is completed in 18 months. I have a fit and athletic physique, short black hair, and dark eyes. People often tell me I'm a handsome man. Sexually, I lean towards dominance and enjoy taking control. I'm not looking for love, I get that at home. Instead, I'm seeking rough, physical, and uninhibited encounters like you. I am 100% discreet. My home office to finish all the paperwork from the end of the week. I knew Bonnie would stay in bed for the next few hours, so I felt safe opening my email and replying to Ashley. Good morning, Ashley. My apologies for the delay in responding. Yesterday morning, I flew home, spent the afternoon at the office, and had a date night with my wife in the evening. Since we are both very cautious, can we agree not to be upset if responses are delayed? I hope so. As for your questions, currently I'm not involved with anyone else. Over the past 3 months, I've been managing 6 small projects. I haven't spent much time in any one city, and as a result haven't sought a friend with benefits. Our team has successfully completed 4 projects, and I've been assigned the newest one in Hartford. The Hartford project is extensive and requires consistent on-site supervision. This means I'll be visiting your area frequently. In the evenings, I'll have the opportunity to host a guest at my hotel regularly. I started dating 7 years ago, and in total have had 16 affairs. 5 were one-night encounters, 8 lasted several months, and 3 discreetly continued for a year or longer. What do I like the least? Liars. I've developed a habit of being open and honest. If I don't want to answer a question, I'll let you know, but I won't lie. All the one-night encounters involved incredible intimacy with women seeking lasting friendships. Unfortunately, every one of them disappeared after the first meeting. Ashley, you might be thinking, if so many women disappeared after the first date, maybe he's just a bad partner. That's a fair conclusion. However, when each of these women left my room, they were overwhelmed with happiness, pleasure, and satisfaction, and they promised future meetings. If anything, this is my biggest frustration with online dating. I hate liars. What do I like the most? That's very simple. I enjoy the variety that confident, open-minded women bring over. The past few years, I've had the opportunity to explore beyond just vanilla intimacy. Some women brought toys and other accessories to our meetings. 2 invited their girlfriend to join us, and 1 even asked me to find an additional man for her. Your last question was, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a woman interested in a consistent and hopefully long-term affair. She will be attractive and proportionally built. She'll be able to meet a couple of times a month. She'll be a lady in public and an adventurer behind closed doors. I like women who are talkative and aren't afraid to use sexually charged language in private. Ideally, she'll be married. She'll be someone who takes charge in her daily life, but wants a man to take control of her in the bedroom. I hope you find my answers appealing. In your last message, you mentioned that your long-term relationships were thrilling in different ways. How exactly were they thrilling? Have a great weekend, and I look forward to sharing more next week. My weekend flew by. On Saturday, I spent a few hours working in the yard, and in the evening, Bonnie and I attended a neighborhood barbecue. When we got home, we undressed each other and climbed into bed on Sunday after church, Bonnie and I went to the country club we worked out together. In the gym before taking a shower and having breakfast in the mem dining room. That day, Bonnie spent time cleaning the house while I went to the grocery store and stocked up on food for the week late. Sunday evening after Bonnie had gone to bed, I closed the door to my office and checked my email. Ashley had replied that same day. She wrote, "Mike, I completely agree. I will always respond as soon as I can, but if circumstances prevent me, you might have to wait a day or two. I also promise I won't just disappear if I decide you're not the right match for me. I'll be honest and tell you I promise. I also agree that flaky people and liars are the worst part of online dating like you. Each of my one-night encounters was with men who seemed crushed when it ended. Each promised that our date would be the first of many, only to disappear afterward. It's very disheartening. Thank you for the detailed answers to my questions. So far I have not been disappointed by what you've shared. You inspire me. That's a good thing. I'm also impressed that you didn't demand a photo or ask what I look like. In your last letter you mentioned that you're looking for an attractive woman. Well, I am attractive. I'm 5 feet 5 inches and tall and weigh 138 pounds. My stylish shoulder-length hair is red and my eyes are brown. I have a cup chest that is mostly high and firm. I work out almost daily, and I have a toned, flat stomach, great legs, and a backside that makes men at the gym drool. I mentioned before that each of my 3 long-term affairs was thrilling in its own way. One man was very strong and took what he wanted within my limits. I was incredibly turned on by being used for his pleasure. Fortunately, he also made sure I was satisfied. The second man was black. I still get excited thinking about how sensual it was to witness the contrast of his dark skin against my fair complexion. It was an incredibly captivating and made up for what I initially thought was a disappointing size. I admit I had hoped the myth about black men was true. Unfortunately, my lover turned out to be average in that regard. The third man, my most recent, was a surprising experience, though I didn't realize it when we first started exchanging messages. He was slightly taller than average, but very slender. At first, I was a little disappointed, as traditional and why didn't bring much satisfaction. However, on our third date, Paul convinced me to try something new for the first time, and it turned out to be an incredible experience. I can only wonder what that kind of experience would have been like with a larger size. I've thought about introducing this kind of intimacy with my husband since he's well endowed. However, after many years of denying him access to that particular option, I don't want to change my behavior and raise his suspicions. My husband has been gone all day and will be home soon, so I'll make this quick. I'm sending you an anonymous, faceless photo so you can take a look at my hot, mature body. I hope you like it. The photo was incredibly alluring, showing Ashley from the neck down. She was wearing a wet white t-shirt similar to the ones women wear in wet t-shirt contests during spring break. She looked stunning as usual. Monday morning was filled with updates and planning meetings. I needed to wrap everything up by the end of the day. Since I was leaving town the next morning after lunch, I closed the door to my office and replied to Ashley, "Wow, you are an incredibly attractive woman. Hot, absolutely scorching. Tomorrow I'm flying to Hartford, and knowing that you're nearby and continuing this conversation will be more than enough to keep me content for today." In my first mail, I provided a general description of myself. I'm also pleased to share that I work out daily. I run 20 miles a week and lift weights every other day. I'm in great shape with well-defined arms, shoulders, and chest like your last partner. I'm well endowed and an inch longer than average. I'm also thick, very thick. I apologize for keeping this email so short. Work is hectic today, and I need to head to my next meeting. I've attached a few photos for you. The 4 photos were quite suggestive. The first showed a toned gym trained body from the neck down, dressed in sweat-dampened shorts and a t-shirt. The second image was similar in pose, but without clothing, focusing on physical fitness and definition. The third photo featured a close-up of a private moment with a white man and a stunning African-American woman. In the final image, the same woman appeared in an intimate position, though her upper face was intentionally blurred to maintain privacy and anonymity. Due to my travel schedule and challenges with finalizing the project, my days were packed over the next 2 days. I worked late into the evening and didn't check my email. When I finally did, I found 2 messages from Ashley. She had written to me on Monday evening, "Your Letters keep me constantly on edge. I go through 3 sets of a day. Oh my god. I'm so stressed. The pictures you sent are incredibly sexy. I used my favorite toy rabbit and pampered myself 3 times. I slept so well afterward. Like your pictures with that gorgeous Negro girl. I have saved trophy pics from each of my romances. They are anonymous, but I find them incredibly sexy. I keep them in a subfolder on my work computer and occasionally look through them and enjoy them when I need to. I've attached each of my trophies. I hope they make you just as happy. For me, attached to the email were 6 photos. In each of them, Ashley was on all fours with a different man position behind her, holding the camera high. The man had taken a picture of their intimate moment. I could see her beauty in every photo, as well as her remarkably sexy large light brown birthmark on the upper part of her left buttock. On Wednesday morning, Ashley wrote again, "My mind is clouded as I've been waiting for your next email. I'm going crazy knowing you're in the Hartford area. Last night I lay in bed with my rabbit buzzing thinking about you. I can't help but wonder which hotel you stay at when you're here for work. Yesterday, my company signed contracts for 3 new listings. I visited each property to get familiar with the homes. As I walked through each one, I imagined you as a potential client. Tell me, what do you hope our first date will be like? I took 3 very naughty pictures for you. The photos were incredible. I was planning to meet 3 colleagues at the hotel bar for drinks late into the evening. Before heading out, I took a photo of my computer screen with Ashley's 3rd picture displayed. It was easy to see the large puddle of my excitement on the dark table next to my laptop in the hotel room. I wrote, "This is for you, all right." A much longer message later, after having quick drinks with my team, I returned to my room. I wrote to Ashley, "I'm staying at a hotel near the convention center in downtown Hartford. The hotel is relatively new and has 2 great restaurants and 2 bars. The parking is excellent. After 6 p.m. the lobby is reserved for guests only." We had a normal weekend on Friday. We had dinner at a restaurant, and when we returned home we had sex on Saturday. Bonnie and I joined another couple for a round of golf, followed by drinks and dinner. After another intimate moment on Sunday morning, we went to church and then to the gym. Sunday was a beautiful day. I grabbed a book and read for a couple of hours. It was a peaceful day. It was 8:10 a.m. on Monday when I heard Bonnie close the bathroom door. The noise pulled me out of my thoughts about the past 2 weeks. I got up from my desk and walked to the kitchen, filling a mug with coffee. I sat down at the kitchen table. I heard the click of Bonnie's heels as she came down the carpeted stairs and walked down the tiled hallway toward the kitchen. Bonnie in her pre-coffee morning haze went straight to the coffee pot. I calmly watched as she poured a cup and stirred in a teaspoon of sugar. She took a satisfied sip, turned around, saw me, and let out a startled squeal. "Chris," she exclaimed, "you scared the daylights out of me. I thought you'd already left for the airport." I took a slow, deep sip from my mug before responding, "The trip is canceled. Bonnie and I have been married for 23 years, and in that time I've learned to read her like a book." She was trying to appear unbothered, calm, and composed, but in reality, she was panicking. She casually walked over to the bookshelf at the end of the kitchen table. Every night for the past 15 years, Bonnie had charged her laptop and phone there before going to bed. Noticing the space was empty, she asked, "Chris, what did you do with my phone and laptop?" Instead of answering, I took another sip of coffee and asked, "Why aren't you wearing underwear?" What the hell are you talking about?" "I'm talking about the fact that you're not wearing underwear. Why are you naked under your blouse and skirt?" Bonnie's face started to flush as she replied, "Don't be a creep. I'm wearing underwear." She began to slowly back away from the kitchen. Before she could take 2 steps, I asked, "Why are you lying to me? How dare you accuse me of lying? What's gotten into you?" I wasn't fazed. "Bonnie, I can see how your chest moves under your blouse with every step you take. You're not wearing a bra. I've also seen you 100 times wearing a skirt without panties. When you do, you exude sexuality just like this morning. I know you're not wearing panties." When she didn't respond, I added, "Just lift your skirt and prove me wrong." As our staring contest continued, I stood up from the table and started walking toward her. "Stop," Bonnie shouted. "Bonnie," I interrupted, "one of us is going to lift your skirt. You can do it now, or I'll do it." "You have 2 seconds. Fine," I admitted. "I'm not wearing underwear. You're right. I wanted to feel sexy today. I wanted to have a playful little secret." "What's the big deal? There's nothing wrong with wanting to Feels sexy. I find it exciting. Bonnie smiled. After a few moments, I continued. But that doesn't explain why you lied to me. I'm curious, how often do you lie? I'm not lying to you, Chris. You caught me off guard. And I was embarrassed. Bonnie thought the conversation was over, so she pointed to the bookshelf again and asked, what did you do with my phone and laptop? I wanted to know where you're heading so early in the morning. Where the hell do you think I'm going? I'm going to the office, she snapped, sounding defensive. Returning to my seat, I took a sip of my quickly cooling coffee. Looking her directly in the eyes, I said, you're lying again. Bonnie reacted as if I had slapped her. Growling like a mother bear, she said, how dare you? That makes it twice in 5 minutes you've lied to me. I can't help but wonder if lying to me has become music. Where the hell are my laptop and phone? I need to get away from you before I say something I'll regret. When I didn't respond, Bonnie shouted, where are my devices? I want them right now. They're locked in my safe, I replied calmly. Pointing toward the front door, I added, feel free to leave, but your electronics are staying here. The best word to describe Bonnie's expression was shock. It was as if she had been transported to a new world where nothing made sense. She visibly composed herself, walked to the kitchen table, and sat across from me. Taking a deep breath, she asked, honey, could you explain to me how after we kissed goodnight and said I love you last night, we ended up with this mess this morning? After thinking for a few seconds, I slowly nodded and said, I lied. You lied? Fine. What did you lie about, darling? Looking directly into Bonnie's eyes, I told her I lied about loving you. I was surprised that Bonnie managed to keep her emotions in check. A few moments passed before she asked, you don't love me anymore? I admitted, I'm not sure 2 decades of love can ever be entirely destroyed, but it's close, sweetheart. I'm too confused to understand the meaning of this conversation. You need to explain everything to me so I can understand. I'll be happy to do that if you do me a favor, I replied. I'll do anything, darling. You know that, Bonnie answered. For the rest of this discussion, I don't want you to call me honey. Believe me, it was just online sex. I swear I've never been with anyone in person. It was just stupid online nonsense. You're lying. No, don't say that. Since the day we got married, I've never touched anyone but you. I've seen it. I saw the photos, all 6 of them, 6 different men. Different shapes and sizes, different colors, 6 pairs of male hands on the same world-class backside, a world-class backside with the exact same large bean-shaped birthmark. It was you, Bonnie. Stop lying. Just stop this damn lying. Bonnie doubled over, trembling as she cried into her hands. I let her cry until she finally stopped. She was about to say something, but I raised both hands to stop. Harrow, it's my turn to talk. I pulled open the desk drawer, took out a small stack of papers, and slid it across the table to Bonnie. What is this? She asked. It's my divorce petition. No, Bonnie screamed. I don't want a divorce. Bill Murphy will file it today. To introduce you to an old friend, Kelly McGregor. Kelly, meet Jana Flynn. After the 2 women shook hands, I stood up, took Jana by the hand, and said, it's time to go. I smiled, wished Kelly a good night, while Jana added, there's no hope, Kelly. He's mine. I'm not letting him go. Thank you for listening until the end. See you in the next episode of Cheating Secrets. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Goodbye.